proses
Oh, kan itu kan terus.
nanti di YouTube. Menit sekun nih kita di YouTube. Hmm? Jangan nanti aja dihapus, nanti kalau hapus keluar itu dulu. Bisa jangan. Baru. Terus yang bicara selatan.
Saya tidak punya yang benar ya. Saya ini di sini. Saya lupa bahwa di baik dari mana juga ya.
Sama Dewan dari jadi pada sore hari ini kita kedatangan tamu yang akan sharing pengetahuan beliau mengenai ChatGPT. Ya, ini merupakan program pertama kali kita internasional general untuk membiasakan suasana internasional karena kita menjalankan setelah baik sekali kubur tentunya ya dengan peran serta teman-teman ya. Jadi para siswa magister hukum maupun calon-calon mahasiswa yang juga hari ini bisa hadir, dan tentunya para alumni yang sekarang sudah kuliah di program doktor ilmu hukum, kita akan mendengarkan apa yang merupakan keahlian dari pos. Tapi sebelumnya kami persilakan kepada Ibu Direktur untuk memberikan kesempatan kepada Bapak. Terima kasih. Silakan.
Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera kita semua, salam nama budaya. Honorable Prof. Dr. Stefan from House University, Well Munchang, Germany, as a speaker, the Honorable Head of Magister Law Program, Secretary, Quality Control Group, lecturer, and our beloved students. Thanks, good Almighty, because for His blessing, we can gather here today in this room for a general lecture with the theme ChatGPT in legal drafting, legal problem and practice, held by the Master Law Program, with the guest speaker, Professor Dr. Stefan Kos from Universität der Banderswehr, Munchen, Germany. In line with the rapid development of technology, there is a new technological breakthroughs based on machine learning, which has recently been widely discussed, called ChatGPT, or generative pre-training transformer, namely artificial intelligence that work using a conventional format that is used to help generate content ideas, essay, even maths problem solving. How this GPT chat can be used in legal drafting, legal issue and practice will be clearly explained. This is what our guest speaker will discuss today. I take this opportunity to express my appreciation for the implementation of this general lecture, because it is very important to learn in relation to legal planning, legal issue, and practice. Thank to from Stefan Kos, who has been willing to take the time to share knowledge, to the head of the Master Law Program and the team who have prepared everything to the student for their participation in this activity. Hopefully, through this general lecture, lecturer and student can increase their knowledge of ChatGPT, improve their ability to analysis planning legal text, as well as various issues related of legal issue and practice. Well, thank you very much, and I hope this activity can be smoothly carried out. Congratulations and have a nice day. Om Santi 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 Om. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sebelum acara kita mulai, ada sedikit kenang-kenangan yang akan diberikan oleh pada narasumber kita, yang kemudian kita akan lanjutkan dengan bersama. Bentar ya. Selanjutnya kami juga selanjutnya kami persilakan untuk Bapak Moderator mungkin yang akan memimpin. Saya perkenalkan sebelumnya Bapak Moderator adalah salah satu dosen kita juga. Beliau adalah Pak Penaya, ya, MAN juga. Kalau dokter sastra Inggris juga, sarjana hukum juga Bapak. Kalian beliau. Bapak Moderator kita pada hasilnya akan memandu acara, ya, tapi juga akan menerjemahkan karena materi akan disampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris. Ya, Prof, ya? Ada yang dalam bahasa Inggris. Campur. Ya.
Sudah sampai saya.
Terima kasih Pak Ketua Program Tulisan Hukum ya. Pematewan ini saya diminta sebagai moderator oleh beliau dan kita langsung saja ya. Karena tadi sudah diperkenalkan juga oleh Ibu Direktur, ya, Profesor Stephen Hus. Dia dari University. Saya langsung saja, tidak perlu lagi. Dan yang paling menarik sekarang ini bisa lihat adalah ini topik ini adalah chat GPT. Chat GPT, illegal trading, legal problem and practice. Kalau di Indonesia kan seperti chat itu obrolan GPT ya. Kalau GPT lah generative pre-trained response. For us, I think it's better to how to read it. How to read it because sometimes we are becoming like advocate, lawyer, notary, or consultant, I think it's better. GPT is very important. This is new technology transform. Like me, I'm a notary, my practicing in Buddha. Yeah, so I'm lecturer of notary here program. I think it's very important. Pak Ketua, the head of Magister of Law, asked me as a international moderator to lead this agenda. Okay, for the time, so I give Professor Stephen Hus, to present his presentation in front of us.
Test. Ya, selamat sore. Saya Pak Bos, ya, namanya sudah tahu. Saya dari Universität di Monet, itu Universitas German Army, dan saya dari Fakultas Ekonomi dan Organizational Science. Saya punya profesor untuk private law, international law, hukum persaingan usaha dan hukum consumer protection, perlindungan konsumen. Dan untuk saya sangat menarik sekarang digital law karena ada beberapa cara di sana dan saya juga punya kuliah yang biasa di sana, digital law dan cyber law, dan ada juga acara German Academic Exchange Service dengan dua Universitas Indonesia, Erlangga di Surabaya dan Universitas Islam Riau di Pekanbaru, bersama universitas saya dan Fachhochschule Applied Science in Dortmund in Germany, tentang digitalisasi masyarakat dan hukum Indonesia. So we work a lot on these things. Dan judul ini juga baru untuk saya. Saya tahun yang lalu saya tidak pernah pikir itu akan penting sama seperti kami sudah tahu ya, kita sudah itu surprise saya. Dan sekarang saya menggunakan itu setiap hari, tidak aja ChatGPT untuk law, untuk hukum. Mungkin lebih baik to ask Claude. Claude is excellent for that. Claude is good answers. So saya mau tanya dulu dan tolong jujur, siapa dari Anda sudah menggunakan GPT program? Siapa? Ada? Yang lain? Belum. Ya, di Jerman sudah 75% siswa sudah menggunakan ChatGPT untuk skripsi, dan itu tidak baik. Jujur saya bahagia Anda belum mulai. Kalau mulai tidak betul itu bahaya. Ya, harus mulai yang benar. Namun harus tahu apa bisa dan apa tidak bisa. Dan tidak bisa banyak, tapi juga bisa banyak. So, mungkin saya mulai dengan presentasi itu, tapi saya tidak ikut totally the slides, so I will make a little improvisasi sedikit ya. Tapi semua bisa lihat di sini di presentasi, semua slide itu bikin dengan artificial intelligence. Yeah. The graphics is all artificial intelligence. It's not made by me. Itu baik, luar biasa untuk saya. Karena saya tidak harus coba ada sesuatu sudah ada hak cipta untuk itu bisa menggunakan di presentasi saya itu sudah baru. Saya bilang saya mau picture tentang itu product producer. So itu misalnya mulai dari itu Stefan Groß saya tanya software ini bagaimana Stefan Groß, bukan Stefan Groß, Profesor Stefan. Mungkin itu bikin Google search dan ada mungkin foto-foto di internet, ada Wikipedia, tapi itu buka-buka itu tidak terlalu terlihat saya. So you see, this is absolutely fantasy what it does here. Yeah. So it's if you ask it, tell me about Stefan Groß, maybe it tells you that I'm a dictator from Nicaragua, something like that. Yeah. So this is a little bit dangerous. So dulu harus tahu apa ChatGPT. Tidak yang IT. Saya tidak IT guy. I'm not expert in IT. I have no idea about programming. No idea. Tapi saya sudah tahu itu tidak yang Google yang lebih baik. Itu tidak Google. Itu tidak searching machine. Itu tidak expert system. Itu model statistik aja. This is only a statistical model. ChatGPT dan sistem-sistem yang lain nilai-nilai apa kata nanti ikut dari kata yang pertama dan kata yang ketiga ikut kata yang kedua dan nanti nilai ada banyak experience, ada banyak programming text di ChatGPT itu dan nilai apa akan yang berikut. So, for example, Guten Tag in German. If you want to know what is Guten Tag, yeah, of course, Guten. Di situasi ini nilai, kata nanti akan Tag, day, good day. This is all. Yeah, so it's just statistic. It does not know anything. It has no idea. Itu saja. Itu sudah tahu banyak materi, training materi ya, ada banyak experience, tapi itu tidak logik. Itu karena statistik, dan kalau statistik ada hallucination. This is very important, itu penting untuk skripsi. Kalau pikir, oh ya, saya mau draft master thesis atau doctor thesis atau mau bikin paper untuk jurnal, ya bikin paper tentang judul ini ya, saya mau ini dan ini dan ini, dan tentu saja ChatGPT atau Claude akan bikin sesuatu. Tapi yang pertama apa bikin itu bosan, itu very boring, it will be very boring, not innovation, no innovation. Dan yang kedua, mungkin salah, banyak salah. Dan kalau Anda tidak tahu judul Anda, tidak bisa tahu apa salah dan apa tidak salah. Itu bahaya. So that's why, itu karena saya bilang kepada mahasiswa saya di Jerman, bisa menggunakan ChatGPT. Tapi saya mau tahu bagaimana menggunakan, di mana menggunakan, dan saya akan strict dengan salah-salah. Kalau saya lihat salah, itu sudah heavy mistake. Ya. Karena kalau ada salah dan mereka menggunakan ChatGPT, saya sudah tahu menggunakan ChatGPT, itu artinya mereka tidak tahu bagaimana menggunakan instrumen ini yang benar. Kalau itu untuk menarik Anda, ada paper saya di ResearchGate. Paper saya di ResearchGate, tapi di bahasa Inggris, tapi translate ya, tidak masalah. Ada ResearchGate where I do all this practical. So tanya-tanya untuk itu is AI generated words. Is it copyrighted words? Ada hak cipta untuk teks bikin dengan ChatGPT atau tidak ada. Siapa punya hak cipta kalau Anda bikin buku dengan ChatGPT atau draft atau copyright. Yang kedua, siapa punya hak cipta? Punya artificial intelligence hak cipta? Is artificial intelligence the copywriter? Atau siapa? Dan ketiga, bagaimana copyright infringement by the use of AI? Itu menarik. Bisa AI infringe hak cipta dari autor buku-buku. Itu menarik karena ada banyak proses sudah di Amerika dan di Eropa mulai sekarang, di mana ada autor sudah bilang, oh, ChatGPT menggunakan teks-teks saya dan bikin summarizing, bikin abstrak, menggunakan itu untuk bikin yang baru. Setiap orang hari ini bisa autor. Mungkin tidak ada ketentuan ya tentang growing roses, ya, mawar. Saya tidak tahu tentang mawar, tapi saya bisa bikin buku tentang mawar. Ya. Saya menggunakan buku yang lain dan bilang kepada apapun app to reformulate that, yeah? make a new text out of that. So there is no copyright infringement. So ada buku baru, itu tidak baru ya, tidak baru benar, tapi ya, ada orang sudah tahu. Ya, the words are different, the book is the same. Itu infringement copyright atau tidak? Tapi apa artinya itu untuk masyarakat dan untuk budaya? Karena ada banyak teks-teks, ada inflation teks diproduksi dari ChatGPT atau yang lain, tapi tidak diproduksi dari orang. What is right and what is wrong? What is original and what is not original? What is culture? Dan saya sudah bilang sekarang masalah plagiarisme itu sudah selesai. Tidak ada akan plagiarisme di future, tidak ada. Karena tidak perlu plagiarisme. Itu plagiarisme kalau saya bilang bikin yang teks yang lain tapi dari teks itu, is that plagiarism? Of course, if I copy, it's plagiarism. But if ChatGPT makes a new text, it's not plagiarism in a logical way, maybe paraphrasing. Tapi di mana ada batasan antara paraphrasing dan plagiarism, antara paraphrasing dan ya kombinasi yang baru. So only the stupid people will have a problem with plagiarism, because if you're clever enough, you will never be a plagiar anymore. If you use the ChatGPT for that, because it has been our culture, with our art. We will come back to that. So, mari kita mulai dengan copyright hak cipta untuk teks produk dari artificial intelligence. Can AI product be copyrighted? Ada hak cipta untuk produk artificial intelligence, LLM, ChatGPT, GPT-4, Claude, dan lain. Biasanya tidak bisa karena copyright itu kreatif. Creative work. Creative work artinya bahwa harus sesuatu personal dari orang. Orang harus pikir dan harus kreatif dan itu work, itu yang result dari creativity. Tapi kalau saya menggunakan ChatGPT, itu sudah kreatif atau tidak? Tidak, mungkin. If we compare the situation dengan itu, this is an Indonesian citizen, warga negara Indonesia dari Borneo. Monyet ini bikin foto selfie sendiri. Photographer was making a break. Then the monkey came and made the photo. Photographer made a lot of money with that. Is this creativity of the photographer? Kreativitas fotografer atau tidak? Monyet, ya. Ya, itu tidak cukup ya. Fotografer mau uang. Monyet dengan uang, ya. Maybe sumbangkan kepada lembaga perlindungan kesehatan, ya. But this is not what the photographer wants. So, is it really the author's own intellectual creation? Itu masalah untuk European Union law dan juga untuk hukum hak cipta di Indonesia juga, konsep di Indonesia juga intellectual creation. Atau ada perlindungan untuk result of skill aja. Kalau result of skill aja, bisa perlindungan skill bikin teks atau artwork dengan bantu artificial intelligence. Bisa mungkin ada perlindungan untuk itu. Itu depends. It depends on the legal system. In our legal system, this is not yet possible. The Great Britain, it might be possible. Great Britain knows authorship of work, yeah, and then it has a minor definition. For example, it says, sorry, then I must do it in English. In the case of a literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic work which is computer generated, the author shall be taken to be the person by whom the arrangements necessary for the creation of the work are undertaken. Itu bantu, ya. Karena saya menggunakan software, saya sudah tahu bagaimana menggunakan software itu, ya, apply. This is protected. Computer generated in relation to a work means that the work is generated by computer in circumstances such that there is no human author of the work. Tapi menarik, tidak ada moral right. Tidak ada moral right. Itu penting. So, what does Europe? Dan itu juga menarik karena saya sudah 2 tahun lalu saya mulai dengan berbicara tentang text system artificial intelligence di dunia. Dan 2 tahun yang lalu saya masih bilang, itu tidak masalah, ya, tidak masalah karena teks dari artificial intelligence tidak apa. Was predicted for the purpose. The GPT-1 was horrible. I don't know if you ever tried it. Saya coba itu text, you cannot use it for nothing. It was funny. That's it. And then 1 year later, or 2 years later, GPT and then sekarang GPT-4 and nanti GPT-5, dan saya tidak tahu itu dari komputer atau tidak. So the European Commission said 2020 copyright doctrine and case law lends support to our conclusion that the production of an artifact executed by a largely autonomous AI system would qualify as a work protected under EU copyright law on condition that a human being initiated or conceived the work and subsequently redacted the AI assisted output in a creative manner. This is to say, mere human intervention at the conception and redacted stage would speak for copyright protection. Wow, so tidak ada masalah ya. Oke, itu tidak sulit ya. Ini, AI is a tool of the human creator, copyright. The design decision is shaped by AI or autonomous, no copyright. Design decisions by human and AI together means depending on the degree of attributability to human. So how much did the work with the AI do? How much did you do? So how creative? Itu similar patent. Karena patent ada invention yang lebih general dan ada invention yang kecil. Ada desain yang kecil, ada desain yang besar. Dan desain yang besar mungkin ada lebih perlindungan daripada desain yang kecil, tapi ada. Depending on how great and how deep is the creativity. But nowadays it will not help anymore, of course, because we see now, bisa lihat bahwa ini sudah lebih banyak lebih pintar daripada tahun 20. So there are alternative concepts for that. Itu termasuk semua artificial intelligence, kecerdasan buatan, ya, semua, ya. Kalau ada Tesla self-driving, kalau ada GPTs, kalau ada persaingan usaha, ya, of course, competition law, algorithmic pricing, discrimination in markets by AI algorithms, this is all the same. Kalau ada damage, harus assign damage kepada orang. Ya. Tapi bagaimana? Ada beberapa konsep. Ada konsep AI as employee or apprentice of the user. So kalau tidak ada user, kalau ada apprentice atau employee orang, tapi ada AI employee. Kenapa tidak assign responsibilitas kepada orang yang menggunakan instrumen ini? This is, we call in German, Gefährdungshaftung. This is a liability without guilt. A liability just for using something and have the advantage from something. Kalau ChatGPT atau sistem yang lain itu berbahaya untuk masyarakat, ada possibility untuk assign itu kepada orang bisa menggunakan itu dan have the advantage from it. I cannot have advantage on the damage of the society. So if there is damage of society and I have advantage, I must pay for the damage of the society. Kalau ada mobil sama. Mobil saya itu untuk pribadi, hal pribadi. Saya sendiri, tidak untuk Anda. Tapi mobil lalu lintas itu berbahaya. So di Jerman saya harus bayar kalau ada damage dengan mobil, juga kalau tidak ada guilt. Karena saya menggunakan mobil itu untuk pribadi, tapi ada bahaya. Sama terjadi dengan nuclear plants, dengan pesawat dan sebagainya. So that we cannot go to the description for research. So, siapa copywriter? Who owns the results of your description, of your draft? Otherwise, who's the owner of it? The AI or the owner of the software? Kalau tanya GPT sendiri, dan saya tidak suka tanya GPT sendiri di paper dan di presentasi, karena semuanya itu semuanya. Let's ask ChatGPT what it says themselves. It's supposed to be boring nowadays. But I asked it, and it made already the first mistake to do demonstrasi. Ada tidak bisa rely, that is the facts. Bilang, as an AI language model, I do not have legal personality or capability, and therefore I cannot be an owner of the text created by me. But now, the text I generate are the result of algorithms and models developed by OpenAI, and the ownership of my code and technology belongs to OpenAI. Wrong. Salah. OpenAI is not the owner. Karena ada contract rules to say you are the owner, but not OpenAI. So this is not right. And then, however, the content I generate is typically considered to be the public domain and is free to use by anyone. Wrong. That is not true. Property, public domain, it is trained with data which are not public domain. Semuanya sudah tahu kapan ada teks di internet harus hati-hati karena ada copyright juga di internet. Saya tidak bisa menggunakan teks apapun di internet dan itu untuk saya menggunakan saya tanpa tahu siapa punya hak cipta. So you see, don't trust what it says. It has no idea about law. So again to the monkey. Can ChatGPT be the owner? ChatGPT bisa legal subject atau tidak? Artificial intelligence bisa legal subject atau tidak? Itu menarik untuk orang Indonesia, untuk hukum Indonesia, untuk mahasiswa hukum Indonesia karena mahasiswa di sini suka filosofi, legal filosofi. Itu zaman kami tidak bisa, tidak terlalu legal filosofi. Ini juga di doktorat. Di setiap tesis ada 30-40% berbicara tentang Aristoteles dan Hukum, and I don't know what else. Sampai datang ke poin yang. So, personification of AI, can the monkey be the owner of the copyright? Many people say no. You also, I see some of you say no. But it's not so easy. But there are two theories. Ada dua teori. Yang fiction theory dan yang realitas teori atau theory. Ya, sedikit filosofi. Realitas theory means legal subject adalah kalau ada similarity dengan orang, dengan natural subject, moral person. Fictive theory means kalau itu useful, kalau mau menggunakan instrumen itu untuk bisa memutuskan, legislator bisa memutuskan itu subject. Foundation is a legal subject, or because we say foundation is idea, and the ideas of a new the morally should be protected as a legal subject, or we say it is necessary to have a foundation for handling the law, and then we just say we make a law. Salah. Ada banyak orang tidak menggunakan itu baik ya. Mereka tidak jujur, mereka tidak aman, benar-benar aman. They choose it bad. That's perfect. Salah. Ya. Bikin undang-undangan perlindungan salah, perlindungan salah. Pasal 1, buah salah, legal subject adalah legal subject. Akhir, siap. Then it is the legal subject. We just make a fiction, fictive legal subject. Tapi kalau saya tanya, kenapa legal subject? Kenapa? Itu tidak terlihat orang, itu tidak bisa detail, tidak bisa suffer. Ridiculous, right? Kalau monyet, bisa legal subject, oke, monyet terlihat sedikit orang. Terlihat sedikit, kadang-kadang kurang lebih. Tapi monyet bisa suffer. Yeah, they have feelings, they can suffer, they love their children. So, kenapa tidak? Ya bisa ya, boleh. Mungkin dengan realitas teori bisa, dengan fictive theory tentu saja juga bisa. Dengan fictive theory, artificial intelligence bisa jadi legal subject. Kalau itu useful, kenapa lebih useful untuk liability? Kalau Tesla membunuh orang di jalan, siapa? Oh, oke, Tesla decide memutuskan sendiri. Saya driver, saya owner Tesla, dan Tesla lihat, oh, ada ibu di sini dan ada tinggi di sana. Saya mau bahwa owner saya tidak kalau Tesla kepada building, the driver will be dead, right? Tapi kalau kepada ibu tidak ada, ibu mungkin dead, tapi the driver no, protect the driver. Mungkin sudah membaca Isaac Asimov, the robot laws. A robot should never harm a human being, never. It does not say a robot should decide harming my owner or harming the other. It should never harm you. Itu artinya Tesla harus bilang till I stop at once and I will not go to the wall and not to the ibu. Tapi untuk itu bisa menggunakan sistem ini. Tapi siapa kasih kepada Tesla uang untuk liability? Tesla tidak punya uang, ya. So there are some models for that make full system. I don't go into the detail of that. So this is discussed and not clear, and there's a lot of papers bahasa Indonesia di sini tentang itu juga saya sendiri sudah juga bikin. So need for reform that the European Union last year said still no. So let's go to the next point. Is the output generated by the AI truly original based on the fact that the output generated by AI is derived from pre-existing data? And this leads to the question, ada copyright infringement by ChatGPT? This is important karena kalau Anda menggunakan sistem ini dan bikin teks dan public text ini, apa terjadi kalau ada orang yang bilang, oh, this is my text, this is plagiarism, and you really be sure. So, yang pertama tidak bisa yakin karena tidak ada orang sekarang sudah tahu itu yakin bahwa sistem ini tidak menggunakan teks yang mungkin lebih besar. Kalau just ada mungkin ada aja beberapa kata, tidak masalah. Tapi mungkin itu sudah menggunakan beberapa katanya, itu sudah plagiarism. Dan paraphrasing juga plagiarism. So, what ChatGPT says is not so important. It says, I don't violate you. But we know already you cannot trust ChatGPT. So let's analyze that alone. If we set as given that the ChatGPT is not copying full text, but just taking totally new text using its experience and its statistical system, then it's not a classic plagiarism. But can it be nevertheless an infringement of intellectual property right of all the people who wrote the texts OpenAI used for training the system? This is the question. Yeah. And the decision we must make is between, is it free inspiration or is it really infringement of copyright? This is an example. Getty images showing the makers of popular art tools or electricity photos. And we see now ada beberapa kasus autor buku, autor lukisan bilang, oh itu aspek dari artwork saya, itu yang baru produk AI. So one artist, German artist, made a picture, and then the ChatGPT, not the ChatGPT, the picture used a burning tree from the picture and integrated into this world. Is this copyright infringement or is it free inspiration? And this topic juga itu tidak hanya hukum digital, itu hukum tradisional. Hukum di sini di Indonesia sudah decades ada orang mendiskusi masalah protection of intellectual property, cultural heritage. It's similar. Kalau orang Malaysia bilang, oh batik dan Nendang, dance itu sebuah Malaysia. Kalau bagus, sudah Malaysia selalu. Ya. Mereka tidak pernah dengan baju batik. This is exactly the question. Is it protectable? Di hak cipta Indonesia, di hukum hak cipta Indonesia, ada pasal protect heritage, national heritage. Masalah ada bagaimana ya? Siapa owner cultural heritage? It's the state. Yeah, the state. And who will have the money later? state, maybe the Muslim state will kasih money ke uang ini kepada kampung ini dan wilayah ini. Siapa percaya wilayah ini? Saya kalau sudah orang tua sudah di sana sudah 50 tahun, saya lagi di sana, saya beserta wilayah ini atau tidak? Mungkin Anda akan bilang, tidak, Anda boleh. Tapi itu rasis. So this is basically a concept, racist concept, maybe. Yeah, we must think about that. It's a very dangerous concept. Budaya should be the owner. Anyone who is culture should be the owner of the copyright and of this and can use that. But the others, please not. Are you part of the budaya when you go to the United States? Your parents already live there, but you look Indonesian. Then you would say, yes, it looks very nice. Yeah. So this is really a problem. But the interesting thing is harus perlindungan cultural heritage seperti itu atau itu mungkin tidak harus. Ada banyak artis bilang tidak mau karena hidup budaya dari inspirasi dan transfer knowledge dan transfer ideas. So the human culture is developing with inspirations and with international inspirations, with intercultural inspirations. So we always cite something. We cannot say this culture is separated from the other culture. We always have ideas. So is German culture really German culture? Atau itu culture Greece, or culture Latin, Roman, or culture Egypt? And I mean, you wear normal shirts here, yeah? You wear suits from this university. Is this Indonesian culture? No, it's inspired by Western culture. If I marry in Sunda, budaya Sunda ada dress sama seperti di Belanda colonial time. Yeah? This they say this is Sunda. So this is inspiration. And there is good reason to not protect that, because inspiration should be free. So if I talk about human culture and human cultural heritage, I would say it should not be protected strict because it's inspiration of inspiration. But how is it with the copyright law? With the AI products? Is it the same, sama? Atau ada beda antara perlindungan cultural heritage dan perlindungan inspirasi artificial intelligence within text? Ada beda. Beda adalah filosofi humanis. The artificial intelligence is not a human, and the artificial intelligence is not creative, and inspiration should protect creativity. And as it is not creativity protecting here, it should not protect its same like cultural heritage in error. It's very important. Dan yang kedua, artificial intelligence system ini menggunakan banyak teks dari orang dan bikin produk yang baru. Mereka bikin produk. This is American companies or Chinese companies maybe using our text and make a new product and sell this product for money. Saya bayar $20 setiap bulan untuk menggunakan for. Tapi produk ini yang minyak, ya, the raw material, the oil of the 21st century, itu text mining. So why they should use our text to make their product and they don't have to pay for me my text for me. Ya. Ada masalah yang lain. Kalau ada text di paywall, ada database, base, you must pay and then you can have the text. Tapi GPT bisa masuk di belakang paywall dan menggunakan teks sudah berlink dengan paywall. But it means they exploit us and our creativity for making their product, for training their product. Dan nanti ada orang exploit ChatGPT dengan training data ini bikin produk yang lain. And this is really a problem, and we don't have concept for that. Fair use concept, for example. sui generis ancillary copyright. So harus pikir mungkin ada ancillary copyright. Mungkin deh copyright itu hak cipta itu tidak benar untuk kasus itu. Karena hak cipta protect result. Hak cipta protect result. Tapi result itu tidak penting. Sudah tidak penting result. It's not totally unimportant what you produce. It's unimportant what text you make. Anda bikin bachelor thesis, tapi bagaimana bikin teks ini itu tidak penting. Penting adalah bagaimana menggunakan instrumen ini dan penting adalah ada transfer knowledge. Tapi teks ini, kreativitas teks, kreativitas bahasa, the beauty of the language for law text. So if we don't speak about creative text or law text or functional text, result itu tidak penting, sudah tidak penting. Karena result tidak penting, copyright law, hak cipta itu tidak baik untuk perlindungan ini. Harus perlindungan kreativitas dan proses kreativitas. Harus perlindungan misalnya prompting. Bagaimana saya prompt untuk bisa bikin teks ini? Bagaimana saya prompt itu? Kalau prompt yang benar ada better result. Kalau prompt yang simple tidak ada banyak result. So this is the most important thing. Let me maybe summarize that in English short. Important is not the result, important is the process. So we have no intellectual property right for protecting process and for protecting idea. The patent law is not protecting idea, it's protecting the result. The copyright law is not protecting idea, it's protecting the result. The design is protecting the result. Everything is protecting result. But result is not important anymore in the future. So, I want to, mungkin saya mau tambah sedikit, tidak banyak, tapi sedikit tentang bagaimana menggunakan itu. Ya, yang benar. So, for what is it good? ChatGPT dan Claude itu baik untuk correcting. Saya tidak mau lihat sebagai co-editor jurnal hukum beberapa teks dari siapapun Anda dengan Inggris tidak benar. Saya tidak mau lihat itu lagi. Ada banyak, ya. Saya harus baca banyak teks di jurnal, saya co-editor, saya tidak bisa accept. Karena saya sudah tidak mengerti teks ini. And I'm also not native speaker. So my English is also deficient. Yeah, and my daughter speaks English, but she learns English from us and from my wife who's Indonesian. And you know, Indonesian English is different than other English. So we never use the S in the end, right? I go home, he go home, yeah, something like that. So and then I can see also in the text. Sekarang bisa menggunakan Claude, text ChatGPT, that one, the translation program. Speaking correctly, please correct my text. Yang kedua, bisa menggunakan untuk summarize teks sudah punya. Saya menggunakan untuk itu sudah tidak ChatGPT. Saya menggunakan Claude. Claude untuk hukum yang terbaik. Saya bisa bikin PDF to Claude dan Claude analyze the text dan bilang, oke, itu di teks ini. Nanti kalau saya sudah punya draft, saya bisa menggunakan Claude atau GPT-4 untuk analyze teks saya. Ada salah di teks saya? Bagaimana teks saya structure? Do you have a suggestion for how can make it better? And then, especially Claude gives me a detailed analysis of the text. It says this is concise, that is following up, this is logical, there is a logical break. Dan saya coba itu beberapa kali. saya sekarang bikin joint research dengan teman dari Alangga tentang hukum persaingan usaha dan ya biasanya I draft and we did not be corrected and then I analyzed the text dan nanti saya compare dengan remarks dari reviewer from British journal and it find a lot of the problems in the text. So I can take it and can change my text to it. Untuk apa lagi baik kalau sudah punya konsep untuk skripsi bisa menulis konsep ini tanpa care bagaimana dan nice just write it down. Ini bahasa. Write it down fast. Point. And then here's my idea. Give it to the Claude or the ChatGPT dan ChatGPT menggunakan konsep dan juga very detailed. And then you can say for the boring parts, are there always boring parts in any text? We always must, for example, I had to write a text about cyber notary in Indonesia, cyber notary. And ada banyak cyber notary. And is it so boring again? Explain the concept of cyber notary, what is it? And then I said, please write me this part. If you know what you have to wait and you know what you should write, then it's no problem. Write me this boring part, yeah. And then the innovative part, you write alone. Misalnya bisa bikin blog dengan innovative part dan nanti kasih blog ini kepada ChatGPT atau Claude dan bilang di mana bisa mengintegrasi blog ini di teks saya. It will make you proposition where it fits, and this is mostly good. You can also say, please integrate the following idea into my text, into my draft. You have an idea, fast for me. It integrates that into the draft. Masalah adalah tidak ada sources. You cannot trust the sources. Yeah. So you must know where you find something. And this is the danger. This is berbahaya. Itu berbahaya kalau tidak ada sources. Karena saya perlu sources di draft sebelum saya kirim ke jurnal. Ya. Mereka accept tanpa sources. Mereka tidak accept. Ya. So mungkin ada orang saya tidak punya sources dan find some sources just to make paper on it. But this is not research, right? Research you should read first, right, and then you should cite it and not write first something down. Your genius who can do it, of course, and then some salt and pepper it. This is really not enough. You know what I mean? And this is really a problem because I have a text, for example, here on this computer, 10,000 words from ChatGPT and me together, but I have no sources in it. And now I'm too lazy, saya malas cari sources. Yeah, dan tanya ChatGPT, saya mau sources, ya, please add the sources. Yeah, it gives you sources, but most of them are wrong. Sources salah selalu atau sering salah. Misalnya saya mau source ada teks di Indonesia, di jurnal Indonesia tentang itu, ya, and it says Devi Pratama, blah blah blah. Text sound very good, and then in journal it's also existing, and there is a page, and then you Google that, and there is no Devi Pratama right in this journal ever. But there is an author named Devi, I don't know what, and Mr. Pratama, and both of them write something about this topic, but in totally different papers or totally different proceedings. So it just knows there is Devi and there's Pratama writing about this topic, and then logically, yeah, it must be that one. And this is, of course, not useful. So if you know what you do and you use it integrating, but not as the creation or a supporter of your creation, you know what you do, you can use it. Write the boring parts with that, that one you have always the same in the same journals everywhere is this part, not this horrible methods part. Here all the time you must make methods. Understand methods part. You don't do that in Germany, we don't write the methods there. So this paper is normative, juridical research. I don't work in theoretical here. Yeah, and then even cite something that some Papa in some article, right? So normally when you cite this Papa said something about what is so boring, and I said, please write it part about the details, and it doesn't. Or abstract writing is also right. Feed the Claude or other ChatGPT with abstracts on your journal you want to publish, and then let it learn, and then say, please learn from the abstracts you know now. Now make an abstract in that format, in that way, for my text, and makes it perfect abstract. All this horrible keyword finding is perfect for the GPT. It takes me a lot of my time to find the keywords. It is sparing me this time. So altogether, I make sometimes workshops on that. And I'm also a learner. Altogether, if you are too lazy to read all these papers alone, let the GPT read it, and use the GPT-4 because you have add-ins in GPT-4. You can feed it with PDFs, you can let it search in Google, then it is, because it's until 21, right? But when you Google it, and it's also more actual. And then you can transform your text, but please don't let the GPT write your text. It's very shaming. Someone finds out that you have no idea and that you write some bullshit in this paper, and then you say it's GPT. I give an example. Last month, there was a case of a lawyer in the United States, and the United States case law, you know that, and this lawyer made a paper for the court, citing a lot of cases. And the court said, we don't find it. Nobody found the cases. They said, yeah, maybe the data bank is down, but it was not down. The lawyer later did it, and he used ChatGPT to find cases for this guy. He just hallucinated the cases. It was a absolutely correct paper he sent in, but the cases were all, without any exception, hallucinated. Sounds good. Smith versus McDonald from 1927, High Court, I don't know what, but all hallucinated. So this is dilettante work. So use the ChatGPT. You must use it. I don't want that. Don't want to write any paper with bad English anymore, not understandable. Use it. Analyze text. Analyze your own text. The best is analyze your own text. Write your text down, then let it polish it. Yang terakhir, masalah dengan detektor ChatGPT. Ada detektor. Ada program bisa detect kalau teks dari ChatGPT atau dari orang. Itu masalah untuk universitas sekarang. Karena kami di waktu antara digitalisasi dan belum digitalisasi. Dan hari ini ada banyak universitas belum tahu bagaimana mau menggunakan ChatGPT atau mau dilarang untuk mahasiswa atau tidak mau dilarang. Saya kira harus should not dilarang, tidak dilarang, jangan dilarang. Karena tidak bisa bukti, tidak ada bukti itu dari ChatGPT atau dari orang. Juga kalau ada detect program, detektor tidak yakin. Kadang-kadang dia bilang dia 20% dari ChatGPT mungkin ya, tapi itu tidak yakin. So how you want to disqualify a student if you cannot prove the student use it? Because in the same text, the other detector says 100% human or 80% ChatGPT. So this happens sometimes that these detectors find out ChatGPT and then you are disqualified. And actually you write it alone. I checked that out. I wrote text alone, totally alone, and led it to the detector. The detector find out 60% ChatGPT. Karena ada sudah teks ChatGPT belajar dari teks, dan teks itu mungkin sudah ChatGPT sendiri. Use ChatGPT, create text to be trained, and then of course also ChatGPT. So this is totally useless. So I think we should allow that, and we should just forget about these detectors, forget about all that. So my conclusion. What do you think about the culture and the future of culture and the future of society if that is growing, and it will grow? I promise you, you will be lawyers, you are already lawyers, you are notary, you are working in authority. I'm very glad that I'm already 57. And my time is so soon over. So if I have no job anymore, I will have pension. But you must work with that. So I give you the good advice. Go tomorrow to your computer this weekend and start using it and learn it. Because you will be the loser in your job if you are not able to do that in the next year. This is very clear. Without that, nothing will work anymore. I'm not a fan of it. I would be glad if it was not developing so fast. Yeah, so because I think it's very dangerous for the society. There's a lot of fake news, people believe everything, and it sounds very clever. And there are studies saying if these texts are done by computers, the people tend to believe it rather than a text written by a human. But what can we do? We have an enemy here. We must know our enemy. We can use the enemy very funny. We can write text. I try to write a roman, a book for Indonesian ibu tentang hantu dan sedikit asmara ya dan everything to make it nice book. I write a book for Indonesian ibu which can be sold very good in the Indonesian market. It should have the following aspects. Indonesian traditional ghost, like this little guy stealing things. Yeah, so this one, tujul, yeah, I love these tujuls, yeah, or baby bomble or something like that. And then a bude must be in, of course, yeah. Then Javanese girl, beautiful. Then some place in Bali or Lombok or whatever, yeah. So a little bit tourism. So and then make a book, and then it develops you the plot. Perfect. You can write this down and can sell that. But we have a wave of shit text nowadays in the internet because anybody does that. So if you want to make money by that, use it fast because sooner or later anybody will know and then nobody will be interested in literature anymore. So my vision is that in the future, the old classic literature until the 20th century will have a revival because people will be full of these computer-generated texts. They want to trust, is it written by human or is it not written by human? So that people will buy really text written by human. This is classic text, and then will be new text by editorials who will charge you a lot of money for the real written book. And will be very expensive because they will guarantee you that it's written by human. And that is the future of the culture. But if it not happen like this, then the culture will go down maybe, will be very, very dangerous. And you should be prepared for that. So you should know your enemy before it comes. You will work with them. And your work will change drastically. You will not draft the contracts anymore. The ChatGPT will draft the contract and you will control. Your work will shift from making it to control. The result making is not important. The control is important. And that will be your work. And nothing else. And just a short story for you. My cousin and me, I had a computer, Commodore 64 in the 80s, end of the 80s. My father bought me that. It was one of the first home computers. My uncle, Manfred, had also a daughter, only 2 years older than me, and she did not get his computer. He bought her electronic typewriter. He said he was a very political guy. He said, computers will destroy our society. I don't want to support it. My daughter will not use computer. My father said, no matter what happened, but my son must learn to handle computer. That is the future. So I got the computer, my cousin not. So my cousin now still cannot Google. Yeah, and I can. So the story, the moral of the story is don't close your eyes just because you're afraid of it. It's not good. The development, in my opinion, very critical. I'm very critical with it, but we cannot change it. It will come anyway. Thank you very much for your attention. Sorry for changing to English. Again, yeah, there is a paper in the research gate under my name. You find me in the research gate. You can see that paper. There's a lot of paper and make it.
Okay, we are open. Okay, thank you, Mr. Stephen Kos. Saya dalam bahasa bisa saja, saya juga masih kawan dengan teknik. Betul, sangat awal. Termasuk juga oleh saya bertanya atau mungkin audien ya, so I ask the audience to ask questions and temporary, so I confused because Professor Stephen has conclusive. Please going tomorrow to the laptop and using GPT just then. Yeah, and I cannot conclude it now, yeah, because maybe the question the audience or the college student ask the question to him, and the question that's up your hand, please. Ada pertanyaan kira-kira? Angkat tangan, sekarang hanya bisa Indonesia. Belum ya? Oh, yeah, because there is no question that we so I ask question. Yeah, in Singapore is classified. Sorry, maybe so I get the country that was. Okay, please. Ini what?
Thank you. Kalau pelan-pelan nanti saya akan
in Indonesia, there is not only for writing, for AI, there is also modeling. There is what is it? Studium, but it's using an AI. So, what do you think about that? Which will be protected, the Telegram or the content creator for the AI Telegram for them?
Maybe the royalties in that should be assigned the royalties or about the responsibility.
Yeah, the responsibility, the rights, or the.
As already said.
As already said, this is belonging to all AIs. Maybe picture AIs, maybe using AIs. What is if the AI is analyzing breast cancer and it makes a wrong analysis? Yeah. So, for example, yeah. So hari ini harus orang mengkontrolasi AI ini. Kalau misalnya ada mobil self-driving mobil, harus ada orang bisa berhenti mobil kalau ada situasi darurat, ya, situasi yang kritis, ya. So sekarang masih bisa assign responsibilitas kepada beberapa orang, orang apapun, ya. Tapi nanti tidak bisa. So itu konsep saya sudah bilang ada beberapa konsep untuk itu. Ada konsep nilai artificial intelligence sebagai instrumen, tapi instrumen berbahaya. Kalau ada masalah, instrumen berbahaya, ada masalah must be assigned kepada orang bisa advantage from it. If I use a dangerous instrument, I must be responsible for it. Ya, kalau punya monyet yang berbahaya, kalau mau monyet di rumah, ya, cat, ya, like a dog or a cat, tapi itu berbahaya untuk tetangga, ya, you must be liable for that, even if the monkey is not responsible. Ya. Tapi on the long term, we need new concepts. On the long term, we need new concepts. Maybe on the long term, we must think about personification of the AI. In the moment, not yet, but sooner or later, we must think about concepts for personification to assign the responsibility to the self-maintaining AI. This happens if the AI will be able in the future to program itself. Yeah? If nobody is behind that, how we should assign responsibility to some person? I mean, look, the competition law, the algorithmic pricing. There is a case in Germany. The domestic flight tickets of the German airline Lufthansa raised suddenly after the concurrent of Lufthansa in domestic flights, Air Berlin, went bankrupt. Within seconds, the price of the tickets, domestic tickets of Lufthansa, go up. Yeah. Then nanti German KPU, it's a Bundeskartellamt, was investigating the case for infringement of the antitrust law. And they could not conclude anything because the Lufthansa said it was not us. There is algorithm, the algorithm is observing the market, and the algorithm did it all alone. Now, here we have a company using the algorithm. Of course, we can assign certain responsibility, but the problem is the concept of the law itself, which is assigned to human. Because antitrust law and competition law is based on behavior. And Lufthansa did not behave. And AI cannot behave. AI does not behave. It's not behavior. AI is determined, algorithmic determined. It's no behavior. Behavior is I wish something, I comply or not. I can decide. AI cannot decide. So the whole concept of the law will not fit anymore. And sooner or later, we will have totally autonomous systems roaming in the internet and doing something for us. Smart contracts, self-maintaining smart contracts, who program themselves or program themselves in dialogues with other smart contracts. AI systems who talk with each other to train each other. Yeah, we let two ChatGPTs, robots talk with each other. 2 years. They just exchange knowledge without that any human intervenes. And then later you will have a personality maybe, yeah? Because we don't know yet what is personality, we don't know yet what's strong. So if that is totally independent, we cannot assign responsibility. Latest then, we must think about concepts of personifications, fictive personification, and electronic personification. And then we need, of course, follow-ups, like who should give the money to it, for example, with every computer, with every piece of software, you pay a price, right? So of that price, we put a certain percentage to a fund, or a fund which collects this money, and then there is a problem, the liability, the damage repair comes from that fund. For example, we have that in the copyright law in Germany. Copyright law in Germany, if you buy a copy or a printer, you print my text out, this is infringement of my copyright, but I cannot know, yes, so I will not have the royalties from you. But I get royalties from some Lembaga, which is collecting the money from the selling price of the printer of every selling piece, and then from this I get once a year my royalties. It has a lot of advantages, all these systems, all these self-maintaining AIs. For example, I have a copyright of a picture, and this is in the internet, and someone in China used my picture without asking me. The smart contract, you can have smart contracts or algorithms who observe the internet for patterns, and then it finds, oh, there is someone using this picture in China, and then automatically pays me a royalty with Bitcoin on my wallet, but I don't have to do anything for it. It will do it maybe like bots working totally independent. So this is my answer. This is more complicated than it seems on the beginning. Yeah, who should be responsible? If the AI is programming itself alone and producing children who program themselves, who grow up, who learn, then we will have a second kind of beings, yeah, and then yeah, that latest will be dangerous then. I don't know. Maybe Isaac Asimov's robot law we must find. There must be law for the AI, not only legal subjectivity, law for the AI, because the human law is not applicable. There is no wishes. For example, the contracting, how AI should contract. Ada dua artificial intelligence, they make contract. How we make contract? By AIs. Electronic contract by AI, not smart contract. This is just a program. No, two AIs decide to contract. This concept sounds easy. Oh yeah, the one AI makes the offer, the other AI accepts the offer, there we have a contract. So is the contract law applicable? I tell you one thing, and this also applies to the Bürgerliche Wettbewerb, same like to the German civil code. There was never disruption in the civil law so far. Many people think the disruption was the internet. The internet was not disruption, because all we do in the internet we can handle with our old codes, with the German BGB from 1900, no problem. Contract is the same, just faster. Communication is faster. That's it. But with AIs making contracts, the whole philosophical and constitutional basis of the civil law is over, because contractual freedom is based on subjective freedom and on the subjective and the humanity concept of human freedom. The human freedom is, in the contractual sense, in the legal sense, the private law translated to the contractual freedom. So I have wishes, I want to do something, I want to make a contract, so I decide it. But AIs cannot decide. So if we allow that AIs make contracts and we use the Bürgerliche Wettbewerb for that, or the BBB for that, then we go away from the philosophical and constitutional basis of the private law. And this means better would be to have a law sui generis which handles that, which is of course separated from liability aspects, yeah, but applies especially to self-acting and self-deciding in society, because not really AIs. This is the only disruption in the law so far we have. Disruption in the economy, we have a lot. This is a lot of disruption in the IT, the economy is all disruption. Everybody in Indonesia talk about disruption. But in the civil law, we have no disruption so far. This is the first real disruption for you. And if we don't find a solution for that now, before it is developed more, then we will come into problem. And unfortunately, the law always like this. The law always reacts, not acts, without killing innovation.
Gimana Pak? Ya, cannot can extension on Mr. Stephen's small, it's very long. So I can what to say what say from him
For summarizing.
yeah, yeah. I think it is classified concept application of liability. What you say you yeah. So classify. Maybe anyone maybe ask question to him. Professor Stephen Cruz. Do you want to? Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, please, Mike.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Nathan and I'm from Master of Law program. Maybe I want to ask about the blockchain oracle, about the AI that enabling the smart contract to execute based upon inputs and outputs from the real world. So there is a case that the company that maybe they run some like a business with a partial ownership of the property. So they using the blockchain system to like distributing the dividend of the shareholder. And the case is the oracle is not like detecting the input and output from the real world time, and from the real time world, from the real time in the world. Yes. So the dividend is it should be sent like May 24, but it's not executing. So my question is I want to ask the Professor Carl's opinion about what is the solution about this kind of case, that because it's like faulty from the AI program. Yeah, thank you. That's all.
I hope I understand it right. The smart contract issue is on the first side wonderful. Yeah, I mean we don't need trust anymore. We don't have to care for conflict easing and conflict solution. We don't need courts. Yeah, so I don't have to go to Chinese court if I make a business with a Chinese guy. Yeah, so it would be so I just have a smart contract. the smart contract is programmed, then we put it to the Ethereum platform, in the blockchain, and then I give the signal, and then it executes automatically. But what if the smart contract is programmed in the wrong way or not properly? So this is a very, very interesting question, and I don't want to kind of go into the deep, but I want to go to the structure. This is the most important structural aspect. The structural aspect that is, this case shows very good that we will have a shift in many ways, and in this way we will have a shift from the dispute settlement and contract enforcement issue, because the enforcement cannot be changed anymore. The contract is executing. So it's wrong program, it's doing it. And I want to show you that the smart contracts are closing some problems, but opening totally new problems. The new problem, one of the new problems is this internationally, and the stakeholders or the shareholders are outside the country. Which country law is applicable in this case? And they will start with that. And you know, the Ricardian contract. This is normally they write in the Ricardian contract, which law is applicable, and so then put that to the blockchain. But this is the first question. The second question is, what happens if the smart contract is wrong, produced wrong set? And this means we will have a shift to liability of the programmers. This is actually a shift from law enforcement issue to the product liability of the programmers of the smart contract. And who will be the programmers of the smart contract? That will be your law firms, when you be lawyers later, and your IT, which you must use to make contracts, because I suppose you want to be lawyers in the future too. Yeah. So without IT, you will not be able to be lawyers, because you cannot program a smart contract alone. So you will have, or you will learn IT, or you will have IT guys, and that will be part of your law firm. That means you are liable for the wrong programming. Yeah. So the issue is, if that is programmed wrong, we have just a normal liability problem. The law applicable is the law where the service of the programming of the smart contract is done. So you program for your client in Indonesia the smart contract, so you did it wrong. This is the same liability like if you give wrong advice to your clients as a lawyer. But the more interesting aspect of that is that the law enforcement in the courts will be less. This means if we have smart contract, the courts will not have to decide about should the money go there or should the money go there, and what happens if the money is not coming, because the smart contract is automatically executed. And this is a very interesting aspect of the displacement of the law by technology, because the traditional way of discussing legal problems or dispute settlement and so is going. I have a doctorate candidate in Germany, an Israeli doctorate candidate who's writing a thesis about that, exactly that, how the courts are displaced by the smart contract. But actually the smart contract will open new problems. We see in this case the wrong programming, we cannot change anything, the client doesn't know what is written in this contract. I mean, if we have a Ricardian contract, we can read it, but if the smart contract is not a contract actually, the smart contract is just a program, it's just an algorithm on the blockchain. The blockchain sounds cool. Blockchain is actually something very simple. Sounds cool, but many things are not really good. For example, if you're a notary in Indonesia or in Germany, or a notary in the United States. In the United States, you just have to give the signature that this is free, this is right, it happened. So of course you can use blockchain and smart contract to transfer land, in that system. But in our system, we cannot, especially not in the German system, because the notary must warn the clients, the notary must give advice to the clients, the notary must check is all the conditions fulfilled, so on and so on. This cannot be done by smart contract. So for our legal system, smart contract is not always the best instrument, but it makes a lot of problem with smart contracts. Once it is programmed, then anything is gone. And how you want to force your Chinese or Indian business partner to say, okay, there's a problem. Let's reprogram, make a new smart contract. You cannot force it. But on the other side, all the international ubiquitous problems are gone. Copyright problems, royalty. So that is good. Royalty. Copy my text. We make a smart contract. The smart contract is programmed to give me Bitcoin automatically to my wallet. If it finds out the condition is done. For what I should sue the guy in China or India, yeah? The smart contracts does it automatically, and I don't have to care whether China or India is accepting smart contract as a legal binding. Doesn't matter because the technology replaced the law, and this is very logical why that happens. It's a political question because law is based on trust, systemic trust and individual trust. I decide to make a contract with you because I trust that you will most likely pay. I decide to use the contractual situation because I trust the law will be enforced or not. But in the world of the internet, we don't have territories anymore. And if we don't have territories anymore, we don't have jurisdiction. And if we know we want to make internationally business, and we know I cannot force the Chinese guy to pay, I cannot use the law. But what happens if the people don't trust the law anymore? They search for an alternative security mechanism. And the alternative security mechanism is blockchain and smart contract.
Yes, the schools that's very interesting. It is related with what the cyber or criminal law is. Next, for example, between contract or agreement. It is one. For example, identity system of Indonesia, country, and others is different. That's Indonesia because I'm not Indonesia. It is very different to applicate it. Because what? Because Indonesia shipping law, sorry, continental law. So of course, the shipping law is the taking place to me. Like for example, nothing like I know, right? Because what hotel must check it first. Like the object is subject is what is in share before. This is very important. Yeah, this is the way of notary very so very difficult. If for example like blockchain will be more complicated, then it's very difficult. The criminal is okay. You are right. Because what is going to the court? Yeah.
True. How you want to apply criminal law? Yeah. How you want to keep your culture in a metaverse? I mean, I always ask about pornography. Yeah. In Germany, what you see here as heavy pornography in Germany is in the afternoon in the television as advertising. Yeah, and here is pornography. Yeah, but if we are in a metaverse, how you want to avoid that your citizens go to virtual strip clubs or look pornography there, or steal tokens or steal virtual things or kill the avatar of someone. Yeah, and how you want to apply your criminal law? Criminal law is territorial. Law is territorial. Criminal law is especially territorial, and that means this is the next big thing. If that comes is the next disruption, it means that we will have to shift the power of punishment from the states to companies. Because how the state want to control the citizen in some platform, yeah, or Google or Meta. So we must force Meta to apply our criminal law. That is a big problem because the law is military. Indonesia is not has the globally Studium with everything. Yes, so the pornography thing we will never go on. But the Americans, for example, don't allow. We allow in Germany. We don't allow that you negotiate that you need to say that the Holocaust did not happen, which is a crime in Germany. And I think it's absolutely correct that it's a crime. But in the United States, it's part of freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. You can do something. In Germany, we would say it's hate speech or racism. In America, you can say whatever you want. You can make photo with a gun and raise ISIS and I don't know what else. Yeah, and who will make the standards for the law then in the future? So this is for the criminal law also not so easy to for the future. I think it will come. So.
Terus for Profesor Stefan. Ini ya. Unwar, that's up you have please. Ada lagi? Buka tangannya. Oke, Prof exclusi, I stop you. Okay, actually this is question for me because okay, look at the Singapore country. If I compare with the country, Singapore has what the quality of English, or the quality of human resource society. If I compare with the country is still being processed, and Singapore doesn't have natural resources, but that country is classified developed country. I think this is a little GPT2, yeah, A2. How about you? Singapore now, yeah, is classified developed country. Indonesia a developed country. So of course, the Singapore country, yeah, has applied the GDP. GDP likes what? GDP is includes the many creativities in that country. If I compare with, okay, how about it?
It's not an issue of Indonesia or Singapore. Indonesia is more digitalized than Germany in the moment, and you would regard us as a developed country, right? We are in the digitalization very behind. Why Indonesia should not use the GPT tool? Yeah? Singapore is easy. Yeah, I mean, this is a small country. They don't have to control a big territory. They don't have They don't have all these islands. Of course, it's easier, right? People say Switzerland. Oh, Switzerland is so effective as Switzerland. How many people they have? But Germany is a bigger country. Of course, it's difficult. This is a question maybe of the political system. Like, is it federalism or is it centralism and so on? But I think the digitalization is not hanging on what you say, the development. And I'm not so sure, is Singapore really higher developed? So this is a different question of the definition. What is higher developed? Yeah. So example, you would say, maybe people in Europe would say, the hygienical situation for the food in Singapore is so developed like in the Western countries. Of course, Western tourists can go to Singapore and trust you can eat everywhere and you will not have any problem. I mostly not in Indonesia, but I eat also the street food. But then in conferences, that people ask me, well, should we just transfer the hygienic rules of the European Union and Singapore to Indonesia to develop more? And you know what I answer? No, you cannot. You cannot just transfer so-called developed rules to your country. And I'm not so even sure that it's really a question of underdevelopment. Because if you do that, if you put the rules of the food hygiene from Singapore or Europe to Indonesia, what will happen with your culture? Your culture will be dying because there is no street food anymore. The Singaporeans put all the street food in one hall and then they can control it. There is no food on the street, yeah, only in shops. But who wants to have Indonesia without street food? No, this is that. This is really a common problem. Because people say this is more developed and that is more developed and Indonesia should develop more like this. And then they say transfer Western laws to Indonesia. And I always say do this, but analyze first. Does it integrate into your culture? How it integrates into your culture and what should you modify? You cannot just say Western laws or Singaporean law to develop. And but in the digitalization, I think this is universal. The digitalization will not change your culture too much. Yeah, so of course you can make the data protection law and take it from European Union to Indonesia without changing the culture. But be careful with it; they are more developed than us. In Singapore, everything is expensive. Yeah, of course, if you charge anybody for the 10 times price here in Indonesia, and there are a lot of rich people in Indonesia, they wear watches which are cost $10,000. Yeah, of course, if you charge them, you can do a lot. Yeah, but you have a lot of people who want to live normal. And I don't want to live in Indonesia like in Singapore. I prefer that here. Singapore is nice.
Okay, thank you, Profesor Stefan. Host, ada lagi Kak? Ini ya, cukup ya. Okay, maybe so what? So I confused.
Very important questions, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are never questions and then when you ask something or shading, yeah, but thank you for saying.
Part of the college student of the audience are lawyers advocates. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And don't
Okay.
send me papers in English or German English or whatever. I don't pay money for this loan. Write it in Indonesian and transfer it to people. Yeah, and then let it correct. No? Then use the VPN.
Yeah, usually use that.
No, yeah, but use the VPN. You can ask no problem. Ask no for the law. Yeah, but if you say you are in Germany, I don't I didn't try it, but actually I use all the time VPN to use services I can use in media. I think it works. The cloud is the best.
Okay, applause for him. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay, this one person for us. Yeah. Yeah, from his presentation. Yeah, in front of us, please build your idea, build your creativity, and more. Is going to go to the laptop. Yes. Okay, applause for him. Yeah. Oke, waktu saya kembalikan pada Pak Dr. Jaya. Go ahead. Okay, thank you, Mr. Oke, Bapak Ibu, pemenang sekali lagi. Terakhir kita bikin dokumen. Gimana baiknya? Itu kita turunkan. Ini Pak. Bisa diturunkan spanduknya, kita buat sama. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Professor. Ayo kita berdiri. Oh, no. Kita bisa mendekat ya.
Pasti,